because sometimes there will be a little bit delay from the streaming and from LinkedIn. Also,
Yeah.
I have put it on YouTube. I forgot to ask you for your YouTube channel, so you can have it on your YouTube channel.
It's okay. We don't have much following on YouTube, but it's okay if you are just streaming it on.
For records, yeah. I will share with you.
No worries.
So let's see. I'll check it on LinkedIn.
Sorry, guys, I've got a delivery. Can you just bear with me 1 second?
No problem. Take your time.
Today is Thursday. In the Arab world, people are going out. So I hope that they are with us.
Let's see if anyone appears, or is it just 3 of us?
It's okay.
Mm.
It's happening. See, there's a little bit delay on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hello, Alex. We have Alex here.
Alex? Alex who?
We have Ahmar. You can see from the comments. Yeah, you can just see from the comments in the right side.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we have 12 people, 13 people, so we can start.
Amazing.
Yeah. So you want to moderate it? Then I will start to talk. It's up to you, or shall I start to talk?
No,
you just go ahead. Yeah. I have just connected my YouTube with it, and we are good to go.
Very nice. Yeah. Hello, everybody, and thank you for being here with us today. I'm very grateful for the great guys, our gurus on our community branding community, Imran and Greg, that are my superheroes actually on LinkedIn. And it is the second time I'm seeing Imran face to face. First time I'm meeting Greg face to face. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity to meet each other in person. Today, hi guys, and welcome with everybody from Alex to Ahmar, Osama, and Mohammed Ibrahim. Hello, everybody, and more are joining us right now. My name is Enas Ghazal, and I've been working since 2004. My life was a little bit ups and downs, but it has formulated me to be the person who I am today. When I was I was in the 6th grade, I used to be very, very active, and I used to go to the buildings and the new structure. I think maybe Greg will be here with me. I go to the construction sites, and I will be asking all the people in the construction sites, what are you doing? What is the materials? How much are you renting this facility? And basic questions. And when I'm at 6th grade, I was renting houses for my teachers. And my mom and dad was, oh my God, what she's doing, this is little girl, okay? By time, I have these qualities of being different than others. Everybody is different, but everybody has his own difference. So people start to compare me with other people. Enas like this, Enas similar to that, Enas like this. I said, why people are comparing people with each other? This is from cultural, we inherit these things from the culture. You are like your grandma, you like your uncle, you are like your auntie. I said, I'm not like anybody else. Because when Allah or our God created us unique people. Nobody is similar to each other. From there, I know that I love to celebrate the uniqueness of people. So for that, I studied PR and communication in the university. Plus, we have this major and minor. My major was English literature and language. Plus, I have my minor is public relations and communication, mass communication. From there, I start to discover myself even more. Discover that everybody has his own uniqueness. Everybody is a special creature. Everybody has his own mentality, and everybody has to respect these differences between people. When you are in PR and communication field, you have to accept people as they are. You don't judge, you don't have any expectation, you just accept people the way they are. And from there, I started to my journey into media, PR, and communication as in my business. So in 2004, I joined my first business. I was little girl from just graduated from my university. So I started with working on UAE. UAE is my career school, let's say. I was raised in Jordan, born and raised in Jordan, but I was working on my early career years was on UAE. Okay, so from there I started to work first in the consulting field. Then I moved forward to start on media and communication. Then into media production, and I was having my positions like executive manager, general manager, deputy general manager, and managing director. Then I came back to Jordan. I started to work like managing director for a holding company, holding group for media entities. But during my life or career life, I discovered that even if you are working, whether you are mid-career, entry level, mid-career, or senior level, you have to follow the vision of somebody else. Regardless what is your vision, there is somebody higher than you will come and impose their own vision. So I said, why people do not celebrate the other people uniqueness and give them the space that they can do and have in their career path. I used to work in the C level. I used to work in the mid level, and I worked in the entry level. All the time, there is somebody upper than you, higher level than you, that will come to you and change the plans and the vision while you are working. From there, I said, no, no more. I will be independent from now on. I'll be like empowerment. I will work like empowerment coach and consulting people for people and businesses themselves. Okay. So I started my journey as international business development and people development consultant. These years passed to create today who I am today. Today I'm giving my services as executive empowerment coach and consultant, and focus on personal brands makeover and thought leadership creation and development. Why? Because I know that everybody has the right to celebrate themselves the way they have to. So in the I joined LinkedIn, let's say 2 years back, but shy steps, soft steps between hesitant between staying and not staying. Believing in this LinkedIn, especially it's in the virtual world. When I am an extrovert, an extreme extrovert, coming to the virtual world, the silent world, it was like a big red flag for me. Enas, don't go there. When out of sudden I said, Allah, please send me a message. Shall I continue or shall I khalas, go to the traditional world, to the real world where people are different mentalities? I want to enter this virtual world. And the sign came from Allah. You know what? When Greg has this post that we are launching our branded community, I said, I love this guy. And I'm very inspired with what he's doing. And I came to know that he is partnering with Imran as well. From there, I love these guys. I follow them, and I love what they are doing. So I said, why not? And there was the message from up to follow these guys. I was going about like this, to leave everything behind and quit LinkedIn. So I have joined this community. And thank you guys for this amazing opportunity. Hey, Jasmine is here. Hello,
Hey, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
I'll let Imran reply. So really inspiring story, Enas. Thank you very much for sharing that with us. And so good to hear that you got so much value from the community, and the fact that you got assigned to join us within the community. Something that really resonated with me, that something that you said before, where you said that that ultimately you just have to be yourself on LinkedIn, and that's so true. You know, your own unique identity. We're all unique in so many different ways, and I just think you know, what's that saying? Be yourself because everyone else is taken. It's so true. And you also said that you know, I think when you said, I think what you were trying to say before when you said about you know, not so much copying others, but you definitely need to be inspired by others, right? And you know, follow your own path. But again, it reminds me of another saying: copy like an artist, right? So you can absolutely do that as long as you kind of bring your own unique style to it, for sure. But yeah,
Yes.
what are your thoughts on that, Imran? Oh, you're silent. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Great.
Awesome. So yeah, I believe like so it's our identity that opens, that actually guides us towards who are the people we are going to attract, who are the people we are going to work with, what we are going to be known for, and like what's there outside for us. So if let's say I posted about it earlier today, that if I were a journalist, right? So I was a journalist for over 10 years. So if I had that identity, I might not be here talking to you guys, and I might not have like ever met you or Inas or anyone from personal branding space or LinkedIn space or content and copywriting storytelling space, right? So that would be a totally different trajectory. So it's your identity. It's your identity that defines your path. And if you are true to your identity, then obviously everything becomes easier and easier as you just start following your path. That's what I believe.
Mm.
Yes, totally, totally. All the time, I'm telling my clients there is only one piece in this world, which is you. There is not two you of, not two pieces of you. Even if you have a twin brother, he is not a replica of you. Everybody has his own uniqueness. Even our fingers are not the same. Our eye print not the same. Our voice print not the same. So why you have to be like somebody else? When I have first joined LinkedIn, people are saying, "Who are you? Are copying? Who is your? You are identical clone." I said, "Nobody. I'm learning from everybody, but I have my own personal identity because I don't like to be resemblance to anybody. But at the same time, I love to learn from everybody. Everybody has his own unique value. For that, I decided that I will not take the way people are taking that personal branding is about content, personal branding about LinkedIn optimization, and LinkedIn is about visual branding. No, today I'm doing something very different than others, and I'm proud of it. That this is this iceberg. This iceberg, my friends, is starting from within. We all like an iceberg. We are that solid, we are that strong, that we are that deep. But at the same time, we have to understand ourselves first in order to let the world understand us, in order to understand anybody around us. The biggest obstacle people are facing to know themselves, the hardest question everybody can ask: who are you? But the easiest question that anybody can have: give me an advice. Tell me what to do for myself. So people are very good at giving advices, very, let's say, unaware on how to give, to reflect themselves to the world. So for that, I decided to be different than everybody else by going deep inside the human being, being be, from being part of their journeys to discover themselves the way they want. Maybe I'm focusing on leaderships because, you know, even leaderships, they are strong in their positions, but they are wearing masks, different masks depending on the situation that they are in. They are adopting other people's messages or visions. But what is your value? What is the celebration of your own journey? The hardships, the sweet times, the agony, the poverty, the wealth, everything. Who are these people? And how these situations have formulated them. So I'm starting from self-awareness. Let people be aware of them, of themselves, and for that I have put this sweet pearl, because we are pearls, but we are hide inside the shell. So let's open the shell and let our true value shine to the world. We are deep, deep, deep. So we will go 80% discovering our own in order to be these people that we are proud of. We are not resembling to anybody, we are resembling to ourselves. So we have to know our goals, what our goals in this life. Many people are not aware. You know what? We have many celebrities around the world. Tell me, Ina, they have personal brands. No celebrity has the personal brand. Maybe Ryan Ronald has a personal brand. But tell me, any other person has a personal brand? No, because they have public image. They are wearing masks in order to fit in every situation they are in. But they don't have personal brand because it's coming from authenticity from inside. If we are going deep dive, this is what we are saying, the personal brand. So we have self-awareness. We know our goals. What do you want? Who are we? Why we are doing what we are doing? What our skills that makes us, these skills that make us different from others. Do we have vision? What sort of vision I want to do it beyond my title? I don't care about my being CEO, CFO, operational manager, project manager. I don't care. I am a human. As a human, what is my vision as a human? Okay, what are my values? Am I adopting my values or my parents' values or my community values or my my religion values? I don't know. I have my own values. Let me share it with the world. But first, I have to know it. What is my unique value proposition? Everybody has a title, but everybody is different than the other one. We have brothers and sisters in the home. Each one, when you are asking their moms and their parents, tell me their unique values. Tell me what distinguish each one from the other. You will discover that each one has different criteria that nobody has in the whole world the same. Target audience. Right now, if I have a vision and I have a goal and I have a skill and I am self-aware about myself, who do I want to serve? Who are the people in need of what I'm doing? Authenticity. I am authentic 100% to myself, so I can be authentic for other people. Otherwise, I will be fake. And many celebrities, I all the time say, many celebrities have public images. They don't have, they are under that name of influencers, but many of them commit suicide. Many of them are alcohol addicted. Many of them are under depression. Many of them, they have a disastrous life because they don't know themselves the way they want. They can't reflect themselves to the world in the way that they want. So they don't have self-belief. They don't have their self. They are not true to themselves. And their personalities are not reflecting. If the personality is not reflecting to the people, then we have, I'm saying when you are traveling to another country, you feel lonely. The worst loneliness feeling is being lonely with yourself. This is the worst thing. Here, when we believe in ourselves, we know ourselves the way that we want to know it. We can continue, because if I am today, I'm aware of myself and leave it to the coincidence that people will start to know me the way I know myself. No, people will make life for you a frame. They will label you in the way they want to label you, put a label for you. But when you reflect yourself in the way you want, and you be consistent in everywhere, in everything, in every interaction with yourself, people will start to see you the way you see yourself. So you don't live people to make expectations or hypothetical thinking about you, but to be aware the way you are aware of yourself. Then we will go to the surface. We'll go with a visual branding identity. If we are going to brand for ourselves, to reflect to ourselves the way we are dressing, the way we are talking, the way we are interacting, this will be like branding all the way. If we are going to create a visibility for ourselves on the social media, we have a content that we need to share, we need to create to reflect what we are doing, to place us as, position us as a brand, positioning us as a personal brands different from others. Social proof, how do I interact, how I do I have done success stories for myself, for others. How did I reflect myself the way I expected people? I reflected myself the way I expected to reflect it in the right way, and how much people gained from my this thing. Maybe I talk too much here. Do you want to make any anything, any notes, guys?
Yeah, and something that, so I was at a conference just recently speaking on the stage. We were actually, myself and Imran were sharing our story on LinkedIn about how we got started, and part of that story was how myself and Imran kind of came together and how we met, which was on LinkedIn. And ultimately what happened was I was sharing a very, very true and tragic story about my father, who was really struggling with cancer. And he, over the course of 9 weeks, he deteriorated and the inevitable happened and he passed away. And because I shared much of the story, because I was kind of locked down with my father while I was sharing that story, and the story was really resonating with Imran, because Imran had recently lost his father-in-law under similar circumstances. So essentially we came together and we partnered as a result of having or building personal brands on LinkedIn. But also something else that really stood out to Imran was the fact that, shortly after my father passed away, I started to recollect lots of experiences from my past and memories from our, good times that we shared together. And one of the things that happened was that I ended up going to Weston-super-Mare Beach, and I ended up going into the sea. And I'd just eaten quite a large meal, loads of sandwiches on the beach. And so I ended up getting cramp in both my legs and I started to drown. And so fortunately, my partner at the time, my cousin was on a lilo, and she happened to see me flailing my arms around, saw me drowning, and she was able to come over and pull me back to the beach to safety. And I developed this real fear of deep water, which stayed with me for years after. And then one day I decided, this was like years back, so I was about 13 when this happened. And then when I got to sort of 16, 17, I decided I wanted to join the British Army. So my dad was like, well, son, you're going to have to get rid of that fear of water, he said, because there's no way they'll let you in. So he took me through and gave me sort of like his version of exposure therapy. He took me to the swimming baths every day. He took me in like a little bit deeper each day, right? And splashing water over my face. And gradually over time, it worked. I overcame my fear of deep water, and I was able to have a very successful career in the British Army. But ultimately, when my dad passed away and that story kind of came flooding back to me, I thought to myself, right, I want to create a personal brand. I want people to know me for who I am and who I really am. And I want to share part of this story and make it part of my personal brand. And so a lot of people, maybe many people on this call right now, never kind of, or may not even have known my previous LinkedIn banner, where it was a picture of myself in armbands, diving in or splashing into water, right? And then my profile photo was me underwater blowing bubbles, and there were goldfish and rubber ducks and everything floating around. And And it said on my profile, my strap line on my main value proposition was make a splash on LinkedIn with a profile that converts. But what most people didn't realize, they didn't realize the connection, but Imran did. Imran got it. Obviously, Imran knew straight away what it was. But ultimately, what I'd done there is I'd weaved memories and personal story into the design of my banner. But what my banner served for was not only a great way to grab attention and pull people into my profile to find out more about my products and services, but it also served as a great reminder to myself that no matter how difficult the task ahead, if you want something badly enough, you can absolutely achieve anything you want in life. And I think that's possibly what a lot of people make the mistake of doing when they're designing their LinkedIn profile or paying attention on their personal brand, is they don't kind of make that kind of connection with their own personal story. That's the bit that's missing. And it's that bit that humanizes your personal brand and brings it to life, right? So I see people do it really, really well. I see lots and lots of people do it really, really badly. But that's ultimately what myself and Imran are here to do, is to help people to kind of position themselves in a way that doesn't dilute their personal story and their brand identity, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to share that little story with you, and that's just in case you were unfamiliar with it.
Remember when I first followed you, I thought that you are putting your horoscope because you are putting the whale all the time.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, remember? I told you, is this your horoscope, Greg? You told me, Enas, no, this is my backstory on my life. And that was very resonating to me, because I love people who are let's say, they make peace with their past and know how to convert this trauma or tragic incident into something good to inspire themselves and inspire others. So for that, it was like the first click for me, that when I contacted you for this thing. I was silent observer, but I say the whale all the time. I said, I will ask him. I can't. I will want to ask him.
Well, there you go. Now you know. Now you know.
Yes.
What about for you, Imran?
Yes.
Oh, you're on mute again, buddy.
Have to unmute myself every time. So I think the time when I started posting on LinkedIn, that was in the pandemic, right? So I had at least first degree connections, like dozens of people who were uh, who just started around that time. And today, when I see, they are not active on LinkedIn, not anymore, right? So that comes to the second part. Like, even if you uh, get to the point where you are visible, what about the consistency? So I see a lot of people struggling with not being consistent on LinkedIn, and that's where the part comes. Okay, so they don't want to share the bad and the ugly side of their personal story, or the vulnerable side of their, like, they just want to share the good, the beautiful, the glittery side of who they are, how much money they have in their bank account, what sort of car they drive, and then all those things. But they rarely want to own what's not like that positive, right? And that's, I believe, makes them at certain point just tired of posting sort of fake content, right, all the time. Like,
It's tired, because it's got to be really, really tiring
it is, yeah.
to be someone else, right? Because you're constantly acting, right? It's
Absolutely.
it's a lot easier and less taxing to be yourself, but it takes more bravery to be yourself, right?
It
And
takes, yeah.
that's the crazy thing about vulnerability, right? the
Hmm.
crazy thing about vulnerability, in my opinion, is that it's the what it's the last thing that we want to show others, but
Yeah,
it's the main thing that people want to see in us, because it makes us relatable.
absolutely.
So if we can
Like,
just have a little bit of bravery and put ourselves out there, and yes, I think it comes, like, the more you do it, the more you put yourself out there, the more confidence comes with that, right? Um,
absolutely.
It's a
but
freedom. Freedom.
I do understand why it's difficult to put yourself out there initially, you know.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot to be said for vulnerability. It definitely makes you definitely makes you more relatable. Um,
Hmm.
and I know for a fact that, and I'm sure everyone does that, personal stories on LinkedIn, sharing vulnerabilities goes a long way for building that likability. And we buy from people that we, I hate to say it, know, like, and trust, right? But
Yeah.
it's true. Like, you, if you don't like someone, you're not going to follow them, and you're certainly not going to buy from them.
Yeah, there are people I know. There are people, big creators, and they create good content, and they have people who love them, right, and people who hate them. Just
Mm,
because, like personally, I don't go really well with certain people, and I don't understand why. So it's maybe the vibe, the way they appear, the way they talk about success. For instance, I never talk about how much money we make, right?
mm,
So as Brandon, or uh, as in my individual capacity. So from day one, I had this firm resolution with myself that I will never talk about money. That okay, so I have made this much money. Okay, come follow me, and I'll help you do the same. So that's
mm.
kind of sharing screenshots, right? Telling people your success and all those things. So maybe I don't go really well with those people who brag about like uh, how much money they make from LinkedIn. And on the other side, there are people who are just very humble, and they never talk about money straightforward, right? So they
Mm.
just talk about their experiences and their values, and what helped them build their first business, what helped them build their second business. One thing, and then I'll just hand it over to Inas. So I was watching this guy's interview. He's a big guy. He built like four really like billion dollar startups, right? And he said, like, when the interviewer asked him, so what's your secret, right? So what's your secret, success secret? So he said, I just got lucky, right? So yeah, so it comes down to like being there, just doing your best and trying to get lucky, right? And yeah, so yeah, so certain people attract certain people, and it's okay. So
It,
but
it,
yes,
it's funny though, isn't it? It's funny how the harder you work and the more consistent you are, the luckier
yeah,
you get.
yeah, absolutely.
You make your own luck in this world. I don't care. Nothing happen. Well, things do happen by chance occasionally, but even those
Occasionally,
who buy lottery tickets, right? They had to go and buy the lottery ticket, right? The
absolutely.
lo-
You have to, like, you have to be get lucky, right? So you
yeah,
have to get earlier than everyone else. Or at least your previous version, right? So
yeah.
yeah, just to conclude on that point, where being someone is a lot of stress, it's hard work. Being yourself is relatively easier,
Mm.
and though it's tiring at one point, but not that tiring when you are just totally someone else, right? So you are just sharing your trips and all good things about you, and you are not sharing what really you want to share, right?
Mm.
So yeah, that's tiring.
Yeah,
Back to Anas.
brilliant. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This is amazing. I feel like I have provoked something inside you both, so you are just willing to talk. Yeah. And I want to say something that to confirm on what you have said today. If you are going to build a personal brand, a thought leadership, you need to be prepared to be hated, because you are doing something unfamiliar for many people. Many people love to live in the safe zone. When you are talking something beyond their expectation, beyond their familiarity, beyond their what they have raised on, and beyond their vision, so you'll be hated because they are not aware of what you are saying. So this guy Steve Harvey said something very amazing. He said, when Allah or God has give you an insight about something and give you a vision about something, he didn't give it to somebody else. So this is like a risk. You know, risk, what I say in English. What's the meaning of risk, Imran? Like your fortune. In English, what would you say about the risk?
Yeah, so your voice was breaking. I could not hear it.
The risk, you know, risk from Allah. Something like fortune from Allah. I don't know the word risk. You know, when Allah giving you something to be lucky with, the
Yeah,
fortune, the money,
yeah,
health, the everything. This is risk. You know, like He's blessing you. Yeah, He's blessing you
yeah,
with something. He didn't bless somebody else with it. So sometimes you are sharing your idea with your mom, with your dad, with your friends, with your wife, with your brother. Sorry, they don't support you because they don't understand, not because they hate you. So some people don't understand, for that they don't support and ask you to be in the safe side or in the safe zone. And somebody is not aware of what you are doing because their mind limit, thinking limit, will not go beyond what they are having in their own. So the blessing that Allah or God has given to you, He didn't grant it to somebody else. So embrace what you have given. This is your blessing, and this is something not given to anybody. So just embrace it, do what you have to do, and show it to the world in your own way, that lets people see it through your eyes. We need sometimes why we have coaches all the time, because we need to see the world through their eyes. Why do we have mentors? Because we need to see the world through their eyes. Maybe we have an idea, but we don't know how is this good, how much is this going to be valuable for us. But a third eye or outsider eye will give us the value of it. For that, when we are saying emotional intelligence, people has to raise their emotional intelligence, because it starts from within towards the other. So when you are self-aware of yourself, that you know that doesn't you don't have to please everybody. It doesn't have to make everybody loves you, because you know what? When God created us, He created all the creatures on the world, but nobody has agreed. Let's say, not everybody has agreed to love God. So if not all the creature, although or people on the world love God, they don't expect people to love you, everybody to love you. So let people love you the way the people are interested in what you are saying, the people that you resonate to them, the people that understand what you are doing. Otherwise, it will be hectic, burnout, depression, and everything else. Be
Mm.
yourself. Who loves you, who will follow you.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talked about how when you share your dreams and aspirations with other people and they don't get it, and it's not through hate or disliking of your ideas and everything that they try to stop you from doing it. It's probably out of love.
Yes.
Because they're trying to protect you, right, from it all going wrong, right? And that's the crazy thing is I used to call people that of that kind of nature. I used to call them dream stealers, right? So like, stay away from dream stealers, because they'll try to take your dreams and then throw them in the gutter and leave you with nothing, right? So yes, I think it's important to note that these people, they'll tell you that you can't do it, right? That it won't be successful, but what they're actually saying is, I can't do it, I can't do it, but that doesn't mean that you can't. And that's the important thing. Just because they can't do it doesn't mean to say that you can't. And like you just rightly pointed out, if you've been chosen for whatever reason, whether it's God, whether it's some higher power or whatever it is, if you've been chosen and if it's your dream, then you bloody well go for it. You go for it and don't let anybody stop you from doing it.
Sure. Shall we take questions from people right now?
Absolutely.
But I want to add something before that people are mixing between the digital image or digital identity with personal brand. So we need to clarify this for them. They say we have digital identity. Come on, man. You have digital identity because it's spontaneous without being strategic about it. You are, whatever you are just publishing there, your presence on the social media, this is your digital identity. But because it's not intentional, it's a tool that supports your strategic vision, which is the personal brand. The personal brand is the strategic thing. The digital identity is your tool to support your strategy. So be like, it has to be very aligned with each other in order to create something very perfect for you. We are saying seeking for excellence. There's nothing called perfect. What we are saying, in order to make an impact, or you have to be clear about who you are, what you are doing. Don't be a random person. Don't work as an autopilot. Sometimes you are partying in the bad way. Sometimes you are fighting on the street. People are taking, and you're sometimes you are bullying people on the line online. So don't stop. Don't do this. Stop doing this. Respect everybody. Share your ideas in very strategic way, and let all your social media or your digital presence reflect the person brand that you are, the person who you are, the one who was raised by his mother and his parents are proud of him. Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
So are we taking questions now, guys?
Yes, yes.
So guys, anybody that's listening in, if you've got any questions, and then please do join the chat. Any questions
in the chat
about
box, yes. In the chat.
any questions about personal branding,
self-awareness, yes, even about the self-awareness, let them.
Brand strategy. We've got a personal brand strategist. In fact, we've got two. We've got two brand strategists. Why is it vulnerabilities that are recommended to be shared to build identity?
What else other than vulnerabilities? We don't mean the vulnerabilities that being weak in the sense of weak, but being a human, that you are going through many situations as other humans. Right, right, Greg? That's what we are talking about here.
Yeah, I think what we have to remember, I think it's Noah that's just asked that question.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so it's not just vulnerabilities. I think when I talk about vulnerabilities, I'm talking about when you're sharing your personal story, and of course there's various different content pillars, right? So you could say that one content pillar is authority building content, another pillar is personal content, another pillar might be sales content, another pillar could be opinion style content, and so on. So but sharing your vulnerabilities in personal stories is just one aspect of a personal story that humanizes your content and makes you relatable. So just to answer your question, I suppose it's the other pillars that you probably are asking about. So for example, sales content would be the type of content where you'll have a hook and you'll have the main body, and then you'll have a call to action at the bottom. And the idea behind that type of content is that it positions your offer. There's another pillar might be value-based content, right? Which is there to build trust and credibility. So that would typically be educational content of some description where you're sharing your expertise with your audience. And opinion content is where you're sharing your own you're sharing your own unique perspective on a particular industry topic that's prevalent within your industry, right? So So yeah, there's lots of things to talk about, Noah, on that subject. So vulnerabilities is just a very small part of it.
Yeah, and something else that when we are talking about vulnerability, normally when people are sharing their stories and let's say vulnerability stories on the social media, other platforms, they will get bullied and people will be judging them very, very hard. And it will not be like liberating experience for them. It will be no downgrading for them. And like maybe it's like burning out more and more, make severe harm for them. But the beauty of LinkedIn, when people are sharing their vulnerability stories, people are supporting them, resonating to them, interacting with them. It's a liberating experience. I'm not, as Greg said, we have many content that we can talk about, but when we have discussed the vulnerability, this specific topic, we meant that be yourself. Don't be shy of your, let's say, faults or your bad experiences or bad history. Nobody is asking you who's your dad. Nobody is asking you how much you have. Nobody is asking you what brand are you wearing. Nobody is asking you are you pretty or ugly. Are pretty or not, fat or slim. Nobody. People are loving what you are offering because this is the essence of you. And your beauty will be shining from inside out. So let it shine, and people will be supporting you. No bully on LinkedIn. For that, I want to
Yeah.
answer.
That's one of the things that I love about LinkedIn is that it's such a supportive community of people, and it's almost like LinkedIn has got its own specialized etiquette that everybody conforms to. It's almost like the vast majority of the users of LinkedIn know and understand this etiquette. They understand the guidelines for the platform. And let's be honest as well, like the mentality, there's a massive mind shift that happens when somebody navigates from one social media platform to another. Particularly, like the biggest mind shift that I notice myself is when I shift from TikTok onto LinkedIn, because I know for a fact that when I'm on TikTok, I'm doom scrolling, right? I'm doom scrolling. I don't do it very often, by the way, but I get into this kind of doom scroll kind of situation where I'm kind of just absorbing content for the sake of it on stuff that kind of interests me, right? Because the algorithm is serving me this engaging content that aligns with what my interests are, right? But the difference is, but then all of a sudden, so I'm in this kind of like doom scroll situation, and all of a sudden, when I suddenly move on to LinkedIn as a platform, suddenly like it's like, okay, it's time for business, it's time for work, right? How do I make money? How can I add value? Where can I, it's a completely different kind of situation. So I think when people jump onto LinkedIn, even if they are the type of person on another platform to be a bit of a, dare I say, a bully, they're probably a completely different person on LinkedIn to what they would be on, say, Facebook, because of the mind shift that happens.
Guys, we have another question from Dr. Rayad. Right. Sorry for not being able to pronounce your name, but
Ra'id.
He asks, everyone knows himself, but from where we have start to brand ourselves in a clear way and to let people know him easily. Like CV cannot reflect you as what you know and believe. So yeah, so this is about what I shared earlier today, right? We have to start with what we what we want to known for, right? So like from our identity, so you can have multiple identities. One is where you work, from your educational background, a social identity, something. So for example, I shared my example where I was a journalist for over 10 years, and I was a social activist as well. I was a PhD scholar, and now all of a sudden, and I was running a marketing agency, and all of a sudden there was pandemic, and I had to choose one identity that I just wanted to stick with and wanted people to know me for, and that was someone who could help them with their personal brand as a personal branding strategist, right? So the starting point, in my opinion, I could be wrong, is how you want others to see you, perceive you, know you, what aspect of your personality. Obviously, if I have dogs or cats, or I'm a good father, a good husband, so these are like extension of my core identity, but these are like not part of my value proposition. So if I'm a good father, let's say, right, and I'm not selling a parenting course, it is irrelevant to most of my audience, right?
Mm.
But if I'm a personal branding strategist and I want them to know me as a personal branding strategist, and I'm good at strategy, so that's where I am personal branding myself, uh, making people see me from that particular lens that I want them to see me. So that is
Yeah.
a very good point to start building your personal brand.
Mm. And
Yeah.
and if we could, that's a really good one, Imran. And if we could answer just another question as well, I don't mind answering this one as well from Noah. So he says, "Thank you, Enas. One more question, if I may. I understand that storytelling is impactful, but now we can sniff AI storytelling that destroys the purpose. What's your advice about this AI times storytelling?" So, Imran, I think you'll agree with me on this, is that there's nothing wrong with using AI in content. I
Yeah.
firmly believe that you can use AI, but you have to edit like a pro,
Yeah.
right? And it's very important that if you're going to use AI, that you don't just put in a prompt, let AI or ChatGPT or whatever spit out the results and then copy that and paste it as a piece of content. You can't do that, because like you rightly said, you can sniff it out. It stinks, right? You can just tell a mile off that it's AI. So
Yeah.
so something that's really important, I don't know who here is using ChatGPT 4.0 or the newer version, but one thing that Imran kind of taught me how to do, which is to feed ChatGPT, train ChatGPT on everything about your life. So I installed the microphone into ChatGPT, and I literally sat down one day, probably spent about 2 hours speaking to ChatGPT, and I started from the day I was born, right? So I started from where I was born at the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, and I went through my whole life telling it loads of stories all about me, all about who I was, what school I went to, my parents, my childhood, my growing up, my army career, my LinkedIn, everything. I just told it everything. And then what I also did is I went back through my own LinkedIn posts from days gone by, and I took certain LinkedIn posts that have already been written by me, formatted by me, and everything, and I took those posts and I uploaded them into the same Chat GPT, right? So uploaded all this information. So before I knew it, ChatGPT knew who I was inside and out. It knew my writing style. It understood my formatting. So now when I speak to ChatGPT and I say, right, ChatGPT, write me a story about the time when whatever that memory was, and it spits out an almost perfect piece of content that's in my writing style, in my voice, formatted the way that I format my post. But then I still go in and I edit that post. I still go in and kind of tweak it and adjust it, and only when I feel 100% do I then upload that as a post into LinkedIn. So I think there's definitely room for AI in content.
Yeah, I
But
believe.
got to edit
Yeah.
like a pro.
Yeah, just to add to what you said, like if you look at any story, there are actually two parts to that. So one is the information, right?
Mm,
So a story tells information like what's happening here, who is the person, what's happening with them, who, what, where, when, right? All those things. And the second thing is the way it's evolving, the way they are writing or telling, right? So obviously, the first part, that is the actual information, it should not be fake. So that's where you have to be authentic with yourself and with whatever tool you are using. That the information, that the story that you are telling, it should be like a true story, right? And if it is a true story, then the second bit, like using ChatGPT to uh, help you formulate that story or structure that story uh, as a zero draft or first draft, and then you sit down and edit it. I don't see a problem with that. But
mm.
the way people use it, and you guys would agree with me, it's, hey ChatGPT, write a story
Yeah,
about anything, right? And then it comes up with a fake story, and they just post it, right?
yeah.
That's wrong. That because in that, both, like the first bit, that is information, is not true, and the style is not their own, right? So they are the both part of storytelling there, they just mess up with those two things.
Mm,
So
mm.
so
And
so that
and that again is being fake as well, right? Because even the story's not true. It's not even a true story. It's just lies, right? So
yeah.
so again, you want people to connect and build relationships with you. And us, in your slide, one of the key words on that iceberg slide was authenticity, right? You've got to be authentic. You've got to be your true self on here.
And ChatGPT can be your virtual assistant, your coach, your whatever,
Yeah.
as per what you are asking it. Today, they have their new interface, and I said, "Oh, chat, what a nice makeup, makeover." He said, "Thank you, Ines. We are trying our best to be very smooth." So sometimes, yeah, I'm treating it as if it's my virtual assistant. So
Yeah.
sometimes I'll have my text or everything I have done, I put it there. It'll start to suggest, but I will not lose my soul there. It has to be my own voice, my tone of voice, and it has to be like I am like this. Sometimes I'm fighting with this. No, why you are writing like this? He said, "Sorry, Inas, I'm just learning."
Yeah, I think we should wrap it up. It's
Ye-
9:30, guys.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but Enas,
So
thank you, Enas,
thank you
thank you.
very much, guys.
I just wanted to say thank you so much, Enas. It was a really enlightening live event, and really pleased that you gave us such a good shout out in here as well, and some of the questions as well. I want to say a big thank you to Noho for his questions, and the other questions
Noha,
from
she's a girl.
Dr. Raid.
Great. She's a
yeah,
girl. Noha, Noha.
Oh, my apologies. Sorry, my apologies.
Noha and Raid, and we missed one question from Zakaria. How we can confident in case we do not know, oh, sorry, we do not have the answer. So I don't understand. Like I'm not
How
sure.
can we confident in case we don't have the answer for what, ya Zakaria? We don't have the answer for ChatGPT, or we don't have answer with the people that we are talking to. You need to be more specific. Zakaria, حدد لو سمحت.
Maybe shoot us a message after this via LinkedIn.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Message
Yeah,
us
yeah.
on LinkedIn.
yeah.
Okay, guys. So yeah, so just a final announcement that that is about the spotlight. The reason we have these event, and anyone from branding community can have a spotlight session or event with me, Craig, or any other members. The intention behind it is like the spotlight should be on the members as well, not just the hosts. And this was the reason that the entire event was hosted by Nas, and she shared her professional journey, personal journey. And if you are a member of branding community, you could do a spotlight event on any day throughout the week, or even on the weekend. So and if you want to join the branding community, I'll just drop a link to the community, or you can just DM me or Craig or Inas, and you guys will be directed to the community. So thank you so much,
Could I
everyone.
could I just say one thing as well about the branding
Sure.
community? Something that I think is really, really important that our audience knows about is that we recently launched a branding connect event, which is essentially a networking event inside the branding community, so that all our branding community members can get to know each other and not only support each other on LinkedIn, but support each other on business as well, with passing each other referrals, etc., etc. So what we decided to do was to make the Branding Connect event as well open to anybody that wants to come along for a networking session. They're allowed to come along completely free of charge. And at the end of the networking session as well, we're quite happy to give you a whistle-stop tour of the branding community, so you can see why people like Enas joined us in the first place. We've currently got about 179 members inside the community, and we're still growing.
And we'll stop accepting people once we reach 200 members.
Absolutely.
And then there will be a waiting list.
Yes, absolutely.
And also the price will jump to $99 per month, or $49. Yeah.
Guys, I will add something because maybe my audience will be more relatable for exactly what branding community is about. Branding community, guys, it's about how to win LinkedIn from zero to hero and be invincible. The guys are sharing their knowledge, everything, every strategy, every tactic, every tool in order to make you a big winner on LinkedIn. They are very supportive, and the community members also very supportive, very lovable people that they will support each other. There are many challenges that they are creating there for how to optimize your profile, how to create your about section, how to create whatever you want to do, even your brand identity. There are very supporting people there, and there are a lot of resources. It's like your own vault for personal branding and LinkedIn, how to win LinkedIn on a big vault done by Greg and Imran and many other people that they are there from different expertise and background that are sharing their knowledge there. So you'll be like networking in different levels as well.
We also have LinkedIn Power Hours as well for group coaching.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I think that's it for today, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 And I'll tell you something, guys. I want to celebrate this with you that I'm launching my own agency, Empower.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. So it's Empower. It's for personal branding and thought leadership, empowering coaches and professionals in order to be their own personal brands and thought leaders in their own domains. So that's my new baby.
Amazing. Well done, Anna. Good luck with it.
Thank you. This is after your support and from the star coming from the sky, that these guys have their own community. Let's go for it and enjoy your journey there. Thank you, guys, for being amazing.
Thanks, Imran. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody, thank you, everybody. شكرا للجميع.